Hello everyone. So in the last class we have discussed about economical or efficient channel sections. Okay, and in those topics we have discussed about rectangular channel and trapezoidal channel. Okay, uh, in today's session we will see the concept of specific energy. Why specific energy is important in flow of my channel flow or any kind of flow. So first of all, what is specific energy? Okay, specific energy is defined as total energy per unit weight above the channel bed. Okay, means if we have a channel bed, then this is the stream of the flow, the water surface. This is the hydraulic gradient line. Okay, this is the depth y2, and this is the line of which is called as total energy line, and this value will be v square by 2g. So suppose we have two sections. This is section 1 and this is section 2. So at section 1 the total energy line is at depth of this one is v1 square by 2g, and this is y1. Here it is y2, and this is v2 square by 2g. Okay, so the specific energy is defined as y plus v square by 2g, where v is the velocity of the flow, okay, and y is the depth from the datum. So in this case we consider datum as the channel bed. Okay, the channel bed is considered as a datum, so there is no need to add any additional height. Okay, so the specific energy at section 1 is y1 plus v1 square by 2g, and the specific energy at section 2 is y2 plus v2 square by 2g. Okay, so what is E1? E1 is the total energy at section 1 if datum is actually a reference line from which the energy values are taken. Okay, if datum is chosen to be channel bed. Okay, so there is one point here to note, that total energy always decreases if a flow is being taken place. Then if this section 1 and this is section 2, then the energy value at section 1 is higher than the energy value at 2, means the total energy or the total energy of the flow decreases in the downstream direction. Okay, this is the upstream direction and this is downstream direction. So the total energy decreases from upstream direction when the flow takes place towards downstream directions. Okay, so the total energy always decreases in downstream direction. This is an important point to be noted. Okay, so there are two types of flow that we have to study in open channel flow, which is actually uniform flow and non-uniform flow. So we have another separate chapter for non-uniform flow. So for this chapter we will be dealing only with a uniform flow. So for a uniform flow, specific energy is always constant. Okay, and for non-uniform flow there are other conditions to be considered. Okay, so we will see only for uniform flow. The specific energy is constant, means E equal to y plus v square by 2g. Okay, so what is the value of v? We know from equation of continuity that q equal to area into velocity. So what is the value of velocity? Velocity will be discharge upon area. So we can write here as y plus q square by 2g upon a square. Okay, q square by 2g upon a square. This is the equation for specific energy. And what is the value of a? Area. Area for any section is width of the channel into depth of the flow. Okay, so the equation of specific energy comes out to be y plus q square by 2g a square, and in place of a square we can write b into y, so it is b square y square. Okay, there is another term to be introduced, which is q by b can be abbreviated as q. And what is this q? This q is discharge per unit width. Okay, q equal to q by b. This is a term to be introduced over here. So the E can be written as y equal to E equal to q square by 2g upon y. Okay, q square by 2g y square. Okay, so here we can see that this E is directly proportional to y, and this E is also inversely proportional to y square. So we can write over here that E is directly proportional to y and E is also inversely proportional to y square. So if we plot a graph, so if a graph is plotted over here, and here we can mention a specific energy, and here we can mention y, which is depth of flow. So for E equal to y means this will be a straight line. Okay, this will be a straight line. This is E is directly proportional to y, and for this term we can write this is the equation of rectangular hyperbola. Okay, so what is the graph of a rectangular hyperbola? It is like this, and this term is E is inversely proportional to y square. Okay, so what is the combined effect of these two graphs? The combined effect of these two graphs can be shown like this. So this is the specific energy graph. Okay, graph for a specific energy, in which the x-axis denotes the specific energy and y-axis denotes the depth of the flow. So this equation is E equal to y plus q square by 2g upon y square. So let's make the diagram clear. This is E and this is y. Okay, depth of the flow, and we have got the graph like this. Okay, so in this graph we can see that there is a value where it has minimum specific energy, means this is E minimum specific energy. So for a minimum specific energy there is a particular value of depth. This particular value of depth is denoted by yc. Okay, so at minimum specific energy we have depth of the flow, which is called critical depth. Okay, so here the graph is clear. Okay, so there are few terms to be introduced over here. Okay, the first term is alternate depth. What is alternate depth? We have graph like this. Okay, so we can see that if we assume this amount of a specific energy, this value of a specific energy, for this value of a specific energy we have two values of depths. Okay, means one value is over here and one value is over here. Means for a same E we have two values of depths. So these two values of depths are called, these depths are called alternate depths. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So what is alternate depths? The definition can be written as two values of depths for which they have same value of specific energy. Okay, so we have alternate depths. Clear? Okay, this is alternate depths and this is critical depth. Okay, YC, this may be termed as Y1, this may be termed as Y2. Okay, so and this YC is called critical depth. So what is critical depth? YC, the definition can be written as depth of flow for which specific energy is minimum. Okay, so in this graph actually we can see that at this critical depth the condition of the flow which is above this critical depth is called a subcritical flow. Okay, and the condition of the flow below this line, this critical depth line, it is called supercritical flow. Okay, so there is a term which is to be introduced as Froude's number. We have already seen that what is Froude's number. Froude's number denoted by Fr, and Fr is V by under root G into Y, where Y is hydraulic depth and V is velocity of the flow. Okay, so we have seen earlier that if Froude number equal to 1, then the flow is called critical flow, and from this formula F equal to V by under root Gy. So we have V by under root Gy. We have two values of depths which is Y1 and Y2, which are called alternate depths. We can see that Y1 is smaller than Y2. So if Y1 is smaller than Y2, then this Froude number for, we can write in this way, for Y1 is smaller than YC, this is YC, and this Y1 is, the value of Y1 is smaller than YC. So for Y smaller than YC, Froude number is, one second, For y greater than yc, this is yc. For y greater than yc, fraud number is less than 1 from this formula vy under root gy. Okay, if y is greater, then fraud number is minimum. If fraud number is greater, then y is minimum. So for y greater than yc, fraud number is smaller than 1, and it is called subcritical flow. Let me make it more clear. It is subcritical flow. Okay, so here the condition will be subcritical. Okay, and for y smaller than yc, means we are talking about this y which is smaller than yc. So y which is smaller than yc, then fraud number will be greater. The fraud number will be greater than 1, and this type of flow is, what is the flow in this region? This supercritical flow. Okay, so I hope these things are clear. The graph is clear. We have this graph here, we denote a specific energy E, and here we represent y, which is depth of the flow. The graph comes out to be like this. Okay, so here we have some value of minimum specific energy, and for this minimum specific energy we have a critical depth which is denoted by yc. The region above this critical depth is subcritical flow, and the region below this critical depth is supercritical flow, and the point at the flow at this critical depth is called critical flow. Okay, here for subcritical flow we have fraud number smaller than 1. Okay, and here we have fraud number greater than 1. Okay, so if y equal to yc and fraud number equal to 1, we have critical flow. Okay, for y greater than yc, we have fraud number smaller than 1, which is called subcritical flow, and for y smaller than yc, we have fraud number greater than 1, which is called supercritical flow. Okay, so I hope this specific energy graph is clear. Okay, let's do some calculations and assume some criteria. So there is first point, which is criteria for minimum specific energy. What is the criteria for minimum specific energy? We have E equal to I plus Q square by 2G upon A square. So we have to determine the criteria for minimum specific energy. So discharge can be assumed to be constant. So if discharge is constant, then dE by dy should be equal to 0 for minimum specific energy. So if we differentiate this term, y plus q square by 2g upon a square, okay, equal to 0, means here differentiation of this term comes out to be 1 plus q square by 2g is constant, so it comes out, this area is a variation. What is area? dA is width into, means top width into depth. So this area is not constant, so we can differentiate this area, and that comes out to be dA by dy into minus 2 by aq. Okay, this thing is equal to 0. Okay, so if we go on calculating these values, we will obtain a value which is q square t upon g a cube minus 1 equal to 0, or q square t upon g a cube equal to 1. Okay, this is the condition for critical flow, and this is the criteria for minimum specific energy. So at critical flow, q equal to AC into Vc, means critical area into critical velocity. Okay, so q square t upon g a cube, we can put this value of q, then this will be AC cube into Vc cube into t upon g into AC cube, okay, equal to 1. So this comes out to be this AC, this is AC square, sorry, q square Vc square. So here it will remain AC, and what is the value of AC? Vc square t upon g into AC equal to 1. We can write it as Vc by g into AC by t. Let's write in another page. We have Vc square t upon g into AC equal to 1. This implies that Vc square by g into AC upon t. What is this AC upon t? AC upon t we have discussed earlier that it is equal to hydraulic depth. So we can write over here that Vc square by g into hydraulic depth equal to 1. So we will obtain Vc square equal to g into d, or Vc equal to under root gd. We can write Vc equal to under root gd, and if we bring this gd terms below Vc, it comes out to be Vc by under root g into d equal to 1. And what is the value of Vc by under root gd? Means Vc by g into this hydraulic depth, we have written earlier it as y. This is equal to Froude number. So Froude number equal to 1 means the conclusion is for critical flow, Froude number equal to V by under root GD equal to 1, and it has minimum specific energy. Okay, so this was the condition for minimum specific energy. Now in the second point we will derive criteria for maximum discharge. Okay, so we have this equation y plus q square by 2g upon 2g a square. We have to determine criteria for maximum discharge. So here E will be constant, so we will derive, if we arrange this equation, then we can, the q comes out to be a to under root 2g E minus y. This is the equation obtained after arranging these terms. Okay, so again, if we differentiate this discharge with respect to y, for maximum discharge, dq by dy should be equal to 0. Then differentiating this term a under root 2g E minus y, we will obtain the same condition as q square t upon g a c cube equal to 0. Okay, so this equal to 1. Okay, so this is the same condition that was derived earlier. Okay, okay, earlier in case of minimum specific energy. Okay, so in the last we can derive conclusion at critical flow we have maximum discharge and minimum specific energy. Okay, so this was the condition for, this was the concept for specific energy that we have done in this class. In the, so till now we have covered the intro part, we have covered the economical sections, and today we covered specific energy. We have not done numericals based on any of these topics, so in the next session we will be dealing only questions or numericals based on economical section and specific energy. After the questions will be over, we will start non-uniform. So I guess next 1 or 2 section may be only dedicated for numericals. Okay, so just go through the concepts and practice some basic numericals so that you won't have any problem while solving the numericals over here in the session. Okay, so this was the concept for now. Okay, we will see you in the next session. Okay, thank you.